What is up, ladies and gentlemen? So welcome back to another video, the third video in the Flask GraphQL API endpoint. So in the last video we ended up just having these dummy queries so that our server could work, and we saw how to make migrations and update the database. So in this video I'll be building on this query. So far we have a query that just returns nothing really we care about, but let me build a query that will be returning a user instead. So whenever a user is logged in, then you at least want to return the user details. So that is what we'll be building today. So far in the user model we have just user, and we can log in and register user and do whatever, but we don't have something to return user. So GraphQL, what we are building is on GraphQL, and GraphQL, this model we have to convert into a GraphQL type so that we can return it to the front end. So let me show you how we do that very fast. So we will be converting this model into a GraphQL data type. So over here inside your out, create a new Python file and call it serializer.py. So what this serializer will be doing is it will be taking care of converting our model into a GraphQL model. So first of all, we need to import graphene, not GraphQL, import graphene, and then the second thing is we want to import SQL Alchemy object type so that we can convert model object into SQL Alchemy object type. So from graph in SQL Alchemy, you just import SQL Alchemy object type. So that is what we need, and then just from our models just import user. So because we are trying to convert this user into an SQL Alchemy object type, so let us do that. So let us make a class and then call it user type, because we are converting user into an SQL into a graphene type. So let us just call it user type, and then it extends from SQL Alchemy object type. And then over here we need to define class meta. So and then over here we just define the model we are using, which in our case is the user model. GraphQL always again come with something called interfaces, which convert our graphene type into nodes so that it can allow us to do some things like pagination and wherever. But I'll just go with interfaces. You must not have these actually, but I'll just go with it. So it's always from relay.node. We can just say it's graphene.relay.node. So, or you can just decide to import relay from there, but I'll just go with this because I think, and then since it is a tuple, because you can have many relays and interfaces actually, like you can build your own interface, but since we are using only this interface, we will go with that. So that is it for that part. So another thing we want to do right now is just to fetch our user. So doing that, we use something called queries. As you saw, we already saw it over there. So we use something called queries. So queries takes all our things we want to do. So as you can see over here, I have something I've already built, but I was just testing it. But I don't know, should I just cut or just explain? So okay, let me explain. So you make a class, you can call it anything, but I just choose to call it query because that is what it does. And then our user, I'll be calling it me because it will be returning the current logged in user. So and then it's just a graphene.field, and then here you pass the what you are converting into a graphene object type, which is in our case what we just made over here, which is user type. So it's user type, and then we just make a method. So this method usually has to have this, it has to be defined in this way, like it takes resolve and then what you are trying to return, which in our case it's, you are just resolving me. So if you are resolving user, for instance, if you decide to say here to be user, then you could say over here to be resolve user. So this graphene will take care of this automatically. Whenever you just query user, it will come and look for this method with resolve and then what you are trying to fetch over here. Because you want to fetch me, then you have to define this method, and then we are getting user from JSON Web Token identity. If you can see over here, I have a decorator. So this decorator just takes query header JSON Web Token required, which I imported from Flask GraphQL out, which we saw in the last video. So these will get headers bearer token, which we defined over here. With the header you just defined over here, and then it gets the value, and then it will find the user from there, and then just brings, and then it will, we are trying to get user by ID, get JSON Web identifier, which is something we already defined over here. We are getting again from the GraphQL out, Flask GraphQL out. So we get the user, and since if you can see over here, we were converting the ID into the token. So that is why we are saying the user ID, because it will decrypt the token into an ID, and then it will just return for us the ID, and then we are getting the user by the ID over here, and then we are just saying the first one, and then we are returning. So this will just push the value over here, and it will be returned over there. So over here we see it's a class method, so it takes in some arguments, and since we are using relays, then you might want to have this, because at some point it might have some arguments which you have not defined, so you might want to have that. So for instance, if you are trying to get user by a given ID, then over here you could just say ID, and then just say it's a GraphQL dot integer. So all the arguments you normally have, then you define it over inside here. You just pass the type, and then all the other arguments you have here. Again, if you have something like you are trying to filter by name, you could just put here and say it's graphene.string, and wherever you do that. So all the arguments you may want this method to have, then you put over there, and then you just have to accept them over here again. Like for instance, when we said ID, then you could just come and add over here ID, and then if you have another argument, then you place them just after info. So this info is basically something that returns the request object, and then just this is the class object, obviously, because it's the class, so it's like self, but since the class method, then we are calling it CLS, and this counters for the arguments that relay will be sending. So I hope that is clear. So after we've done this, then if you saw us in the last video, then we had something we did over here. So we were using this query, but what we might want to do, because we have already defined a query we want to use, then you might just want to say it's out.schema.query over here. So because we already imported over here, then we just use the query from our schema over here. Then just let's do some cleanup, and we have it nice. So let us test this application. So because our application, we cannot log in over in our web, because we don't have in our browser, because we don't have an interface to log in, then I think I will just come over. I will be using Postman, though you can decide to use the web, just put the query for the authentication, but I'll choose to use Postman because it allows me to set headers and requests, because that is where our authentication will come from. So I'll use it. So make a query for authenticating or logging in, which in our case we know it's just this. You pass the email and password and just log in, and you see it returns our token. So this is the access token we'll be using to fetch the current me. So you see the query for fetching me is something like this. So I'll remove this right now so that I'll show you later. So this is the query for fetching the current authenticated user. So but inside here we need to set the bearer token. So just set it to the key which you have over there and try fetching. Cannot query field me on query. So you see, I still said me, but I think I remember that I changed here to be user instead of me. So I'll just say me. I'll just turn it to be me over here. So over here you see again it's user and it's supposed to be me. So do that and refresh. Now let us try refreshing the server. So you see we are getting this data, but if you can see the ID as of now is not the ID which we expect, because you can see, let me open the database over here and open user. So you see our user ID is supposed to be 1 for this, but currently we don't have it being that, so I will go and show you what we need to do. So if you think that you need to have the real ID over here and not the relay node ID, then so these, whenever we'll be fetching our data, then we'll be having an additional key called PK. So let me just test by placing over here to be PK, not over here, over here to be, let's say, fetch the PK. So we expect the PK to be 1 because we know this user is ID number 1. So you see we are getting PK ID number 1. So relays and nodes is a very huge topic in graphing and you might want to check them. So relays, nodes and edges is a large topic. You might want to check it out because it allows you to do lots of nice things. So for this video, that is it. I think in the next video we'll start building our product application, so you might not want to miss out because that is where I will show you nodes and relays in depth. So for this, goodbye, and please guys don't forget to subscribe and like this video.